And thank you very much to Naam kya hai?
Gangadhar.
Gangadhar. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the technical assistance. Had a hard time getting it together with the power there. And thank you very much for the MC. And yes, it is always a pleasure to be at this temple. This temple brings a lot of well, when I come into this temple, every time I come into this temple and I see the Das Niyam for those of us who are not very versed in Hindi, meaning 10, Niyam meaning the principles. Das Niyam ki Arya Samaj, it immediately strikes you as a place of value. And when you look around and you see the wonderful pictures of the great Maharishi Swami Daya, which I always depict in my messages, and so I put that on my screen today. And I want to share with you a beautiful message, the victory chariot of life, taken from Sri Ramcharitamanas. So bear with me as I bring the message together for you today. Oh, Sutta Maya Vadina Vedamata Prachodayantam Pavamani Vijana Ayum Pranam Prajam Pashum Kirtim Dravinam Brahma Varchasam Om Bhuribhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Once again, my friends, it is indeed, I'm very happy to be here. As we progress forward in this message today, and thank you, Vishnu, for coordinating all of this. I always like to begin with a beautiful, one of my themes you will hear from my message today is something called homage, veneration, tribute, thankfulness. Someone who has always, my preceptor, my guru, is that of the great Maharishi Swami Daya. And as you can see from the screen, clearly, this is what he was all about. I would like you to join with me and sing just one verse. This bhajan has 3 verses. The poet put together very beautifully the greatness of the Maharishi and also Arya Samaj. Aage se isme badle vichar, bachne hai aadat sawar, bari suhani hai, yahan Arya Samaj, ishi ki shaan hai, yahan Arya Samaj. Aage se isme badle vichar, bachne aadat sawar, bari suhani hai, yahan Arya Samaj, ishi ki shaan hai, yahan Arya Samaj. Before I continue, I would like all of you to beautifully give Harjinder a beautiful round of applause. Thank you very much, Harjinder, for your wonderful contribution. It makes a big difference when we have the dholak and we can bring together our culture, our tradition. My message to you today, as you can see, is from the Sri Ramcharitamanas. And for children, have you ever heard the Sri Ramcharitamanas? Not adults, but children. Children. Sri Ramcharitamanas. Yes? I see one child in the head holding on. We have a lot of homework to do when I see that. Ramayana. Ramayana. Any children? Bache? Ramayana. Gotcha. Very nice. Dhanyavad. Thank you. It is a story, and it is something that it's a message. But very important, I would like you to study this. There are 7 Khan in the Ramayana. And 7 Khan meaning sections or chapters. Today I'm taking the message from the Lanka Khan, the very first one being Baal Khan, when Sri Ram was born. And then Ayodhya Khan, when he grew up. And then Aranya Khan, Kishkinda Khan, etc. And we got the Lanka Khan. Today in Lanka Khan, I would like to share with you as I set the stage. And by Vishnu did an excellent job on our Agnihotra today, the ceremony. And beautifully explained to the family. Shravan, as we're wrapping up right now what we call Pitrapaksh. And in 2 days we are going to go into something called Navaratri. And at the end of Navaratri, we have something called Shia. So, very important, my friends. Whether you call yourself Arya Samaji or you call yourself Dharmi, it does not matter. We're all Hindu brothers from one culture, one fiber, one fabric that make the same cloth called Vedic Satya Sanatan Dharma. We all belong to the same chadar, one cloth. But within that cloth, some of us color it differently, some of us call it differently, and that's when it becomes a problem. When we see it differently. But at the end of the day, we all cover with the same sheet. The same chadar covers all of us. And so, Pitrapaksh, as he beautifully explained, we have to do what we have to do for our ancestors. Never forget them. When you place their name on a building, and you place your name, those who have left us. And when you place your name on something that you can remember the name, that's much more important than when you try to put food on the doorstep for them to come get it. They cannot get it biologically, physically. It's absolutely insane. How can you tell a child of today's stature, today's education, that, oh, well, I'm putting food on the doorstep because my great-grandfather will come to get it. We all know it makes no sense. It makes sense, Shad, when the parents who are living today, Prem Mai Hai, Murati Mata, Bhava Bhaya Bhanjan, Ranjani Trata. My friends, it's the parents who are living today. And I saw today, and there she is, Marlene, with her grandmother, and I saw a parent came into an elderly. I also see Mataji Chandura many times in this temple, and we take our time and you see someone get up because why? They're taking care of the elderly. That's what you have to do today. Now, it's not when they're gone. There's nothing you can do then. All we do then is that we get a murti, meaning a picture. We put it on the wall and then we put a guard on a hang. It means nothing, my friends. What means or what has value, it's now. You find the mother who's living today, the father who's living today, guard them. And then most important, Lelo, Lelo, Duai, Ma Baap, then take their blessing, Lelo, Lelo. Take their blessing, my friends. You cannot get no blessing from any picture on any wall. The blessing you will get is when they place their hand on your head. Sarse udre ki gatri, pabaki. When they lift that bundle of gatri, bundle that's weighing you down, that's the power. That's what we're talking about. That's Pitri Patch in a nutshell. There's a 5-page document, and I will send it to, I found it on the internet, I'm sure you can find it too, but I will send it to you visually, and you post it and send it out to everyone and understand what Pitri Patch is all about, what Shrad is all about, my friends. Do not get, this is very important, meaning Agnihotra, meaning sit and do your ceremony, but don't get carried away. It's the living that makes a difference. So when we're done, now, when we start Navaratri in 2 days, I think Tuesday.
Or 16.
So we start Navaratri. Now we all know me 9 and Navaratri mean nights. So for 9 nights we'll continue. Begin with Durga for 3 days, Lakshmi for another 3 days, Saraswati for 3 days, Mataji, all mothers. Right? And respect our mothers. But what does Durga, Mata Durga represents? It's get rid of those things that's bothering you. She's a warrior. Get rid of them. She has a sword in her hand. Cut them out. The habits, the traits within you that is slowing you down from becoming a good person. That's what it begins with. Then you go to Lakshmi, Mata Lakshmi, and you ask for, give me, as he explained beautifully, when he chanted the Atmanam, Shri, Shrimani, Yash, wealth. What leads you to prosperity, my friends, is when you get rid of those things that gets in the way, into the road, into the journey of success. And lastly, Saraswati, Mata Saraswati is all about knowledge, education, sweetness. And so, Sri Ram, in Lanka Khan, he was faced with this tragedy. What should I do? And so, if you remember, he developed friendship along the way with Vibhishan, with Sugriv, the friend, brother of Bali, and then he was even Vibhishan, the brother of Ravan. He came over on Sri Ram's side, and in a few days, I think in 9 days from now, after Navratri is over, you guys in this very yard will build a very big Ravan with 10 heads. And you know what? This temple, this great Atlanta Vedic temple is very, I must tell you, and I agree with what this guy said, that one of the greatest festival, or come out and enjoy the great effigy burning of Ravan happens here. And I agree 100%. And I don't think it's only Atlanta, it's bigger than just Atlanta, it's bigger, I think it's in the state and a few states, what you guys do here. But today, what I want to do, and I gotta watch my time because you guys know me sometimes I get carried away more than I should. But I want to share with all of you this Ravan. Who is this Ravan? What is this Ravan? And I know you guys, all the children will get a chance to do what they have to do to bring him down. But let's talk about it for a second. So, in the Ramayana, Sri Ramachandra, Sri Ram is faced with this battle on the field in Lanka to go get his Dharmapatni, his wife, Mata Sita. And then Ravan called upon all his ministers and everybody else, and they blow the drums and everything else. Let's go, we are ready for battle. And so Vibhishan observed all of this, but what he noticed is something. He says, and let us sing a, apologize for it. Let us sing a chaupai. And so, in the great Goswami Tulsidas, as you can read there also, he says that Vibhishan was so frustrated. How are you, O Sri Ram? Now I'm with you. You're telling me you're going to win this battle. He was so disconcerted and very confused. How are you going to win this battle when my brother has come with a massive army to come here to find victory? How are you going to win this battle and you here you are not even something on your shoes? And you have no shoes on. Barefoot. How are you going to do this? No chariot. And then Sri Ram continued. And he says, "Oh Vibhishan, listen carefully. In this battle of life, you have to think carefully. And look, let me explain to you. What do you need to be armored with? What is it that you need to be successful? It does not matter with all these armor, and you know sometimes, friend, people will come to you, and your friends will come to you with different things, in different garb, especially in the internet age. They will email you certain things. I will give you $500 or $5,000. Send me so and so and so. They come in different garbs. That's the armor. That's a chariot. You have to be prepared. How do you battle it? And so, this is what he says to Vibhishan. So the great Malayalam Purushottam Sri Ram says, Sauraj Dheeraj, he said, my friend, listen to me very carefully. He says that this chariot, to bring success, to get victory in life, has two wheels. And those two wheels are, the first one is Sauraj, the second one is Dheeraj. These two wheels are, and let me share it, and it's all on screen for you. Valor and fortitude. These are two wheels that take you forward in life. You must exhibit these things. You must be the one to show that, you know what, I am the most truthful. Satyashila Dharma. So the two wheels of this chariot is valor and fortitude, while truthfulness and good conduct are the banner. Every time you go fight a battle, there must be a flag, isn't it? And when you win the battle, you plant the flag. The flag that you plant is that of truthfulness Satyameva Jayate. Does that sound familiar, my friends? The emblem of Bharat Ma. Satyameva Jayate. Planted firmly, truthfulness and good conduct. This must be a banner that you fly on top of your chariot. And it continues, only one chaupai. And look how powerful it is. Even so, strength, bal, vivek, dam, hindagole, strength, discretion, self-control, benevolence. Talking about benevolence, my friends, I'm so happy when I came into it, I saw all these big caterpillar stuff on this side, the construction stuff. Benevolence. That's what this society is all about. Arya Samaj, Greater Atlanta Vedic Temple. It's all about benevolence. It's interesting, though, it's very coincidental or not. It's on Harmony Grove. It's a verse. Very beautiful. Huh? It brings together harmony in society, to family, to everything. Give. And there was someone in here earlier in this temple, before many of you came, who gave a check or whatever it is to Vishnu. This is, just give me my receipt. And that's what I want all of you to do. Give. Benevolence. That needs to be a part of your chariot of success, my friends. Because guess what? The more you give, the more you will get. And many times when it's time to give, we think twice and say, well, I'm not sure. I don't have enough. Am I going to give? Don't think that. There's a beautiful performance we do in the Havan called Mauna Ahuti. Silent offering. And Vishnu did an excellent job in the ceremony this morning. My friends, silently reminding you that you know what? God is a silent witness to everything. God, Pitu Matu Sahayak Swami Saka Tumahidnata. He is a silent supporter, Sahayak, every way. Give, and you will give. You don't even know where it comes from, but you will stop and say, you know what? Why did this happen to me? But it's because of me you did it. All through your benevolence. Remember this great Atlanta temple. And he continues, that's only 3 lines. The 4th line says, in his entire, in his chaupai, he says that Shama Kripa Samatara Jujore, that as you build this chariot, it says that Shama, forgiveness, compassion, even-mindedness, my friends. These are the reins that pull on those 4 things. Bal, dam, strength, self-control, benevolence, discretion. Think carefully. These are the things, my friend, as you build this chariot of your life. Imagine if everyone in our society today is living like this. Will we think about, I don't know, about building a trillion anymore? We lost track when it comes to politics, and when it comes to our budget in the country. We lost track of the numbers, but the amount of money is spent in defense. Why? If everyone was living like this, would there be a need for that? Absolutely not. Because we could build beautiful places for everyone to go, especially our elderly. As our society age, there will be so many wonderful, so much way we can take our resources and put our money to build places to take care of them, instead of spend it behind defense. I'm not saying we do not need to do that. We have to. You must protect yourself, regardless of what it is. In your home, as an individual, as a country, you have to do that. But I'm saying that this is so long ago, thousands of years. If this was, if we could practice this in our current day society, imagine what it will be. And so, Goswami Tulsidas continue to build this chariot for us. And so he continues, he says, my friend, that Isha Bhajana Sarati Sujana. Sarati means charioteer. Who is in charge of this chariot? And he says that adoration of God, Isha Bhajana. Every time you stop and take the time to say your prayers, every time you stop to sing the bhajan, to reflect the greatness of the Almighty, you now become in charge because He is taking control. Because God is the expert charioteer, my friends. Dispassion is the shield, contentment, santosh is the sword, and again, Dan, I mentioned it earlier from a different standpoint, from benevolence. Dan is the axe. These are the equipment, these are the tools to go kill Ravan. Ravan is, let me tell you something, not only in 10 days, 11 days, Ravan will come in and you kill. No, it's every single day. It's when children, in the morning, you have to beg them, please get up, the school bus is coming. That's Ravan against them. How do you fix that? Get the axe of dispassion, the axe of compassion, and you talk to them, explain to them how important it is, so they can get rid of that. And then, my friends, it says that reason, thinking, when you can stop and buddhi and pai, which is the excellent child, talk about medha and buddhi and dhi, all in Havan this morning. You're a pandit, I know you are. No, but that's what it's about. You have to explain to the Yajman, and that's exactly what you did this morning. Beautifully explained, beautifully. You must have reason, you must have thinking, your thinking faculty, my friend. That is a lance that you use to go to the highest wisdom. And when you have something like that in your quiver, my friends, Sri Ram, he says, last job, buddy, and I will begin to wrap it up for you. And so Sri Ram continues to build this chariot, my friends. And now you have the wheels, and have the body of this chariot. He continues in the pure and steady mind. Amala Achala Man, the mind. Man thrown is I did a Havam in Lawrenceville last time, and I spent a lot of time from the beginning of the Havam talking about the mind. And there's a bhajan of a song called Chanchalaman and the Omkar Japa, Omkar Japa, Omkar Japa, my friends. The only way to bring the mind under control, you have to chant the name of the Almighty. Think of Him. Chanchalamananit Omkar Japa, Omkar Japa, Om Om Om. Nam Saras Ras Rose Pieja. My friends, it has to be within every single vein. Rose, rose, ras, ras, within you. It's not something that happens automatically. It is something that parents, is something that happens day in, day out. Dive in Sanskrit. Day in, day out. Spend time with your children. Even if it's 5 minutes a day. Remind them to chant the Gayatri Mantra. Remind them the importance of God. The importance of Sahadeo. Who is your driver? Yes, indeed, my parents is my driver as a child. But parents, who is your driver? Some of us have lost, I don't have my parents anymore. Who is my driver? Isha. My friend. God. The superintendent of my life is God. I have my Dharmapatni, yes, and she has me. We have a son. It's a family, parivar. But where do we get our guidance from? Where do we get our strength from? Bow. We call upon you, my friends. Sri Ram is reminding us, my friends, in this battle of life. Your mind, you must have a pure and steady mind, like a quiver. And what is in a quiver? He says that quietude and various forms of abstinence. Children, you know what a quiver is? I know children will be lost on this, I'm sorry. Quiver is something you put in the back of your head. Do you know what an arrow and bow is? Yes? I hope. Children, do you know what an arrow and bow is? I see parents nodding, but yes, thank you, Havishka. Arrow and bow is an arrow, the arrow is what you shoot, the bow is what you hold, to pull it from. But where you get the arrow from is on a quiver. The quiver is in your back. It's kind of like you wrap it around you and you pull an arrow and you put it in the bow and you shoot. What Sri Ram is saying that the mind, a pure steady mind, is a quiver. Your mind must be steady, it must be formed. That's what holds the arrows. What are these arrows? He's saying that these arrows are quietude, mauna ahuti. Take time, think about yourself, be quiet, forget about all the noise that goes on. Children, forget about all these heavy metal stuff and all this heavy music. It's a time when you stop and think. That's what we're talking about, quietude. But most important, in this quiver, this holder, he says that there is something called forms of abstinence called yamas and niyamas. And these are the yamas and niyamas. These are the arrows, my friend. Dhriti shama dhamuvasteyam shauchamindriya nigraha dhira vidya satyam akrodo dakshanam dharma lakshanam. Lakshanam, dharma, my friend, dashalokam. These are the characteristics. Lakshanam. These are the characteristics of a great person. These are the arrows. What are they? Dhriti, bravery. Shama, forgiveness. Dhamma, self-control. Asteya, things that doesn't belong to you, leave it alone. Shaucha, cleanliness. Indriya nigraha, sense-control. You need to know when to stop. I want to maintain my weight, then eat. Watch what you eat. Sense-control, self-control. People today, look, I'm in the healthcare business, and you see people come, and I'm faced many times, not me, but this hospital system. We have to get equipment to take care of 650 pounds. This is strain on the system. It's also strain on the individual. The individual cannot do anything for himself, herself, or society. That's what we're talking about. Self-control. Indriya nigraha. Dhi. And by Vishnu, this is an excellent chapter this morning. Sense of reasoning, intelligence, intellect, sharp thinking. Vidya, knowledge. Satya, truthfulness. Om, and we do Achamanam, and we talk about Om Satya, Yashaha Shrimai Shri Shaitam, and we drink the water. My friends, we pray to God, give me the power of truthfulness, Satyam, Shri and Shrimai. Prosperity in the form of material and physical and spiritual wealth, so I can be yash, fame. Not famous in the sense that I can show everybody, but I can individually, as an individual and a family, I am self-control. And Akuruda, do not lose your temper. You all know what temper, I don't have to tell you that. Because sometimes I do too. And lastly, this last chopai is saying that as Sri Ram wrap it up for Vibhishan, he's saying to him that in this chopai, let me sing it for you. I want to move to something, but let me just say quickly, this last job I say that the hero, my friends, the hero or heroine, Nar or Nari, male or female folks, who happen to be in possession of these things I just discussed, you are so strong, the chariot, when you build a chariot with that, and I encourage you today to make sure your children have these type of chariot, so that when they go to school, when they go to society, they are ready to battle life. They know Ravan, and there are many of them out there, including ourselves. We have to be careful. When they go out there and they have this type of chariot, they will not be able to, they will not be a failure, but they will be success. And so that's the victory chariot of Sri Ram, beautifully expressed. But I want to spend the last 5 minutes before I close. As I began with the great Maharishi Swami Dayananda, when he was finished and he had his certificate. Back then we didn't have certificate and we call it graduation ceremony today. Everything today is a graduation ceremony. Back then he got a graduation ceremony from his Guru Virjanand. And all he said to him, he said that, "Oh Guruji, do not worry. My dakshina to you is that I am going to crisscross my community, my country, and make it a better one." And that's what Swami Dayananda is all about. And I will tell you in a second why I'm sharing this with you. Because he was faced with many things. As you can see the meaning here for you. As I said, this bhajan it has the poet beautifully expressed to us the greatness of the Maharishi. But, my friends, Swami Dayanand, as you know, he is my preceptor, and so I want to share with you, lastly as I close today, the greatness of this Maharishi. Antarashtriya, international, my friends. Arya Mahasangila. As you can see the dates, it's coming up. This is the anthem for the Florida, everywhere. I am ready. Maharishi, touch me so hard. So my friends, we are going to make Arya Samaj once again. And what great Atlanta Vedic Temple has been doing. Over the years, they have come many years of far away. In this little building, now the new building is right over there, you can see it in the picture. And it will soon become a reality because of all of us, because of all of you, even those who are not here. Find them, call them, tell them of the things you heard today, the things you hear when you come every week, the things we are going to help to make sure that is a success for our children. When we leave, we want to make sure we leave something for our children behind us. And that's, if you do that, my friends, that will be something that the great Maharishi will be happy about. With that, my friends, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. Give me the opportunity by Vishnu and the directors of Great Atlanta Vedic Temple. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityur Ma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti